The town of Ravenport slept beneath a pale dawn sky, its tree-lined streets calm and untouched, unaware that within hours it would become the birthplace of the most important transformation criminal investigation had ever known. Inside a modest brick house on Maple Avenue, police officers stood frozen in shock as morning light revealed a brutal crime scene. The body of a young woman lying motionless on the living room floor. Flashing red and blue lights painted the walls as first responders moved carefully through the house, their radios crackling with urgency while neighbors gathered outside, whispering in fear. Detectives quickly scanned the scene, mentally labeling it another domestic dispute gone wrong, unaware that this moment of assumption would nearly bury the truth forever. The victim was identified as Emily Carter, a 27-year-old school teacher known for her kindness, whose sudden violent death stunned the entire community. Emily's fiancé, Daniel Hayes, stood handcuffed on the front lawn, his face pale with confusion and terror as officers read him. His rights before the sun had fully risen. Investigators noted scratches on Daniel's arms, a broken lamp nearby, and neighbors who claimed they heard arguing the night before, sealing his fate in the eyes of the law. Within 12 hours, Daniel was formally arrested, the department eager to close the case quickly and reassure a frightened town that justice had been served. In a dim interrogation room, Daniel sat under a flickering light, repeating the same sentence again and again. "I didn't do this." Detectives dismissed inconsistencies that didn't fit their theory, unknowingly falling into the dangerous trap of confirmation bias that had plagued criminal investigations for decades. The courtroom filled with spectators as prosecutors painted Daniel as a jealous lover, while the defense struggled against overwhelming circumstantial evidence. When the jury returned a guilty verdict, Emily's family wept, Daniel collapsed in despair, and the case was officially labeled solved. As Daniel was led away in chains, the real killer walked free, hidden by the flaws of a broken investigative system. 5 years passed, and Ravenport moved on, but a single box of forgotten evidence gathered dust in the police archive room. Detective Laura Mitchell, newly transferred and known for questioning old conclusions, stumbled upon the Carter case while reviewing cold files late one night. Laura noticed something no one else had focused on before, a bloody fingerprint on the doorframe that had never been properly analyzed. At the time of the original investigation, fingerprint databases were fragmented, unreliable, and painfully slow, limiting their usefulness. Now, years later, a newly developed automated fingerprint identification system offered possibilities investigators once only dreamed of. Against resistance from senior officers, Laura formally requested the case be reopened, arguing that the evidence had never truly been examined. Inside a sterile forensic lab, the forgotten fingerprint was scanned into the system, its ridges and patterns mapped with unprecedented precision. The computer returned a result that made the room go silent, a match to a convicted offender living just 2 towns away. The fingerprint belonged to Marcus Reed, a repeat offender with a history of violent break-ins, who had never been questioned. Investigators discovered Marcus had been working construction just 3 blocks from Emily's home at the time of the murder. Undercover officers watched Marcus for weeks, noting nervous habits, unexplained absences, and a growing sense of paranoia. When police finally arrested Marcus, he resisted violently, screaming that they should have never reopened that case. After hours of interrogation and the presentation of forensic evidence, Marcus broke down, confessing to Emily's murder in chilling detail. Marcus described entering the wrong house during a burglary, panicking when Emily confronted him, and fleeing unnoticed. The confession exposed how rushed assumptions, ignored evidence, and outdated methods had nearly destroyed an innocent life. Daniel Hayes walked out of prison a free man, his hair graying, his eyes hollow, carrying 5 stolen years behind bars. The case ignited national outrage, forcing the public to confront how many others might be imprisoned by flawed investigations. Police departments across the country began reviewing cold cases, adopting evidence-first approaches over suspect-first thinking. Fingerprint databases expanded nationwide, becoming interconnected systems capable of solving crimes once thought unsolvable. Detectives were retrained to recognize cognitive bias, ensuring investigations followed facts rather than assumptions. Courts began demanding higher forensic standards, changing how evidence was collected, stored, and presented. The Carter case became mandatory study material in criminal justice programs, marking the start of modern investigative accountability. Laura Mitchell refused fame, but her persistence quietly reshaped law enforcement practices around the world. Emily Carter's name lived on, not just as a victim, but as the catalyst for justice reform. The case became a reminder that certainty, without proof, is the most dangerous weapon in criminal investigation. From that moment forward, technology and humility became the backbone of modern policing. As the sun rose over Ravenport once more, the town looked the same, but criminal investigation had been changed forever.